Got this question from Elliot in Wisconsin. He says, are pastors and elders the same thing? Do elders have to be married with kids to be qualified?
Yeah, well, I think I would say that somebody who is an elder, if they don't have children, if they're not married, that doesn't mean that they're disqualified. That is that they can't be a pastor or an elder. I think the point there is that an elder who does have a family needs to care for his family well. And so that's in 1 Timothy 3 and Titus chapter 1. I think that's the focus there. I know men who are elders, pastors in churches who are not married, but are faithful and are called and are qualified to serve in that way. Now, is there a difference between an elder and a pastor? This gets into a discussion that some people have. It's called the 2-office versus 3-office view within the church. You know, is it that there are just elders and deacons, 2 offices, or are there elders, deacons, and the minister, 3 different offices? And it does seem like Paul in some places makes a distinction between elders who are just ruling over the body, caring for the spiritual needs, shepherding and governing, if you will, ruling elders, we might say, and elders who labor in preaching and teaching specifically. In fact, this is what Paul tells Timothy. You know, count those who labor in preaching and teaching as worthy of double honor, he says. And so it does seem like, at least within elders, those who are called and qualified to care for the spiritual needs of the church, you do have some, or one in particular, who was focused on the ministry of the word, the preaching of the holy gospel. There is, of course, again, differences of opinion on this. I know there are some people who just say, well, every elder at my church is a pastor, and we kind of have a rotation of preachers every Sunday. The different elders that we have at our church, so there are some who operate like that. But most churches typically do have this sort of distinction where you have one individual who is the senior pastor or is the teaching elder who is laboring in preaching and teaching. And I think that's a good thing. Because we want to take the ministry of the word very seriously. It's not something that we approach haphazardly. James says in James chapter 3, verse 1, let not many of you become teachers, my brothers, knowing that we'll receive a stricter judgment. And so this is important stuff. But again, I would say that pastors, elders, equality in terms of the authority that they have in office, but there does seem to be a difference between the person who's preaching every Sunday. Not that he has more power or authority, but that he's just focused on something that the rest of the elders aren't spending as much time on, which is that preaching and teaching ministry. Thanks for that question.
And of course, very important if you are considering becoming an elder that you are someone who's qualified, correct?
Yeah, I think that would be an important point. And that's what Paul says in 1 Timothy 3 and Titus 1. And by the way, that distinction is in 1 Timothy 5, 17 through 18. And so thank you, brothers and sisters, for another broadcast. God bless.